Welcome to Your Ghana, My Ghana on Graphic Online TV's YouTube channel. I am Dede Amano Wilkes. We're shooting this episode from the German Embassy in Accra for a special reason. The embassy is hosting a one-week residency for two artists, one of whom has already been a guest on Your Ghana, My Ghana. And the residency is about imagining the future of Germany-Ghana relations through art. So our first guest today is the painter Jojo Abdallah. He recently had a solo exhibition at the Ghana National Museum called SciTech, curated by Robin Riskin and produced by Compound House Gallery in collaboration with the Accra Psychiatric Hospital. Welcome to our makeshift studio, Jojo.
Jojo, yes.
So good to see you again after we had you at the graphic studio a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wonderful to see you again.
Yeah.
So Jojo, you've been an artist at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital for many years, but this week you've been doing this residency at the German Embassy here in Accra. Yeah. How has that experience been for you?
Before then, I'll just tell about the SciTech.
The SciTech exhibition, which was at the
This
museum.
was my third time. I had SciTech because I used to be in the psychiatry for a long time. And I was discharged and went to school. And we held a SciTech in the school. This is the third time.
Before we look at the painting you've been producing this week,
Yes.
Can you tell us how you go about imagining something like that through your art?
Okay.
Ghana-Germany cooperation. How did you go about thinking that?
Yes, the SciTech is
concept.
not. Yes, the SciTech is not something I've realized. So I will say that designing. I did designing at school, comprising with creative art, primitive art, oriental, and universal art. So designing was my aspect, creativity. So
so when they asked you that we want you to imagine cooperation between Ghana and Germany,
yes,
what came into your mind?
I used designing to make the features of the. I watched the Germany flag, the colors that will suit the culture of the Germany flag.
Yes,
So
I can see the German flag in the corner of the painting.
So I used that color to suit the culture of the Germany flag.
And it seems that the creativity of your SciTech exhibition has really fired a lot of people's imaginations.
Yes.
Not only is the Germany embassy inviting you to this residency, but I hear that your exhibition will be going to Tamale very soon.
Yes.
Talk us through your painting, how you went about it, where I can see some signs of cooperation there.
Yes.
Can you tell us, there's the Germany flag there.
Yes.
This is Kente in the corner here.
Yes.
Tell us how you were thinking about cooperation between Ghana and Germany as you were painting this, and tell us what all the symbols are.
I wanted to show that Germany was an ancient government. So they, in the Ashanti, this was what was happening.
So these are Ashanti people represented here.
Yes.
Drummers, different types of drummers.
Yes, so I didn't know. When I came to realize that I was in the Germany embassy, and I said, oh, the dressing that I'm wearing right now, they are all Germany. So I better, since I've come to the Germany embassy, I better wear the Germany dresses.
Oh, you changed your clothing?
Yeah.
Because normally you wear Ghanaian print, don't
Yes.
you? Let's talk about some of the other elements in this painting.
Yes.
The drums, what do they represent? You've got different kinds of drums. Tell us about the drums.
Okay.
There's some talking drums here, I can see them.
Yes.
What message are they conveying?
Yes.
They're communicating something. What are they communicating, these talking drums?
In Ashanti, we all understand that Funtufrum was the fact that when you go to the royal state in Ashanti, the Funtufrum is 4. Yes. And this sticks with the fact that it was a natural artistic impression that we all study. Like, if not, we would have used this, but
This type of drum?
no,
with
the
this
stick.
type of stick? Okay.
But
It's different from the...
But we came to realize that in the culture, this would be more suitable to hit the drum. So
when you wanted to talk?
Talk, yes. So, according to our symbol, it's something that takes place. So you are playing it.
There's a drum language.
Yes.
Is there not?
Yes, language. So this art is the fact that you are the one is playing the drum.
And so we see in your painting, we see, so you say these are Ashanti people.
Yes.
And they're beating the drum.
The drum.
They're announcing something. Is it to do with the German corporation? These are Germans in the corner.
Yes.
These are German, are they all German musicians?
German in those days. So
they're playing instruments. What are they playing?
Flute.
The flutes? I can see the
German
flute.
And the violin.
And the violin.
So
okay.
that was.
And so is it a cultural exchange between the German musicians and the Ashanti musicians?
Yeah. They want to show that that was, by then, German African culture. So before England took over.
Okay.
So,
all right. And in the picture here, we have, among the Ashantis, we have men and women.
yes.
And among the Germans?
Yes. It's just something.
The one playing the violin is a male.
It's a male.
And the other musician playing the flute?
Flute is
also is a female.
A female.
Okay. All right. Good.
So
you have gender balance. I'm glad to see in this
yes,
painting.
yes,
That's very nice. And the background design, how did you do this painting of the background?
Yes, the background is just something. You know, Germany, they like black.
It's in their flag.
Yes. So when it doesn't need too much colors. So yellow, cream, and deep blue. So that is it.
It's a very attractive background.
Yes, just to say not more than 5 colors or anything, or 2, not more than 3 colors. Yeah, so just to...
For their flag.
Yes.
And the flag is counterposed by, you said this is Kente.
Kente,
so
yes.
Is it that the Ashantis are showing off that they also have skills
yes.
in manufacturing, Kente, textiles?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Jojo. I know you're very busy because today is the last day of your residency and you need to finish off your painting. So we won't take more of your time.
Okay.
But good luck with this, and it's wonderful to see what you've produced, and look forward to seeing the next exhibition of SciTech in Tamale. Maybe we'll see you there. Thank you very much, Jojo.
Right. Yeah.
Jojo Abdallah.
Abdallah, yes.
So now let's meet our second guest. He is Martin Kyle. Welcome, Martin, to the show.
Thank you.
And so, Martin, I understand that you've lived in Ghana for 2 years already. What made you come here?
Well, I'm originally from Berlin, Germany, the capital. And my wife, she's working for the German academic exchange organization called DAAD, and is teaching at the university in Winneba. So that's the same for me. I'm working there as well at the art department. And it's very fascinating to be here, to be honest.
And how do you define yourself as an artist? In the sense that before you came here, I see now that you do very beautiful paintings showing typical Ghanaian scenes, fishing scenes, a lot of vehicles, trotros and things like that, buses. Before you came to Ghana, what were you painting?
To be honest, I haven't painted since over 20 years.
Oh,
so,
Ghana inspired you to start
yes,
painting again?
Ghana inspired me to start painting again. So I studied in art academy classical painting, But I would describe what I have done so far as a conceptual media artist. So I am also working in a group. So that's also one part which inspired me very much. Cooperation, all about cooperation, and with a scientific approach, very social scientist oriented, and about the practice. And also, one of my basic questions was, what can we as artists contribute in this world?
Yes, and that's what I want to ask you in terms of this project. It's about artists reimagining a new world, essentially. What do you think that artists can change the future of countries, change cooperation between countries? What can you do as artists?
Well, I think they can do in several ways. First of all, they can show in the way of collaboration how successful collaboration can be. I think that's a good result. I have seen Jojo's exhibition at the National Museum, where I also had an exhibition in February this year. And I was fascinated, and for me, I'm really used in collaborating with artists, and I found him fascinating, and also a link to my work of understanding about storytelling. It's about storytelling. So the second
is the storytelling that fascinated you about
yes,
Jojo's
yes,
work?
yes, and that's because also I'm interested in not painting nicely, also to tell something about
a narrative.
Yes, a narrative. Yes. And second, I think artists can also be to raise awareness, especially a critical awareness. That's also what I want to do with what I'm doing with students. Critical thinking, to get a critical mind, and to be self-reflective, and also to be able to change something in the future, to inspire other people. So that's also another thing.
And how did you connect with the embassy for this project?
Actually, that was Ilsa who attended my opening.
Ilsa is the head of, she's the press attaché?
Yes, she is also the press attaché, yeah. And yeah, she was there, and so we
at your exhibition.
At my exhibition, and we were in contact. And and then she asked me, would like to do a kind of artist in residence in our embassy, and I liked her concept with hosting a German and a Ghanaian artist. And I recommended Jojo for this project.
Okay, and you met Jojo because of through his exhibition.
Not physically. I have been in his exhibition, but also know Robin. And
Robin Riskin, the curator.
Yeah, Robin Riskin, the curator. Yes, I met her in the exhibition. I met her in the exhibition, but also Sydney from Accra Art Week. And so both of them know Jojo very well since many years, and so that was fortunately where we got the contact directly, and we had a meeting before, and we were just had a conversation if he can imagine to work with me for the week in this embassy. Yeah.
So I mean, Jojo, when we interviewed him in the studio, he talked a lot about what he calls imaginative art. And I imagine for an artist, you're mostly working imagining. It's your imagination that is driving your work. In this case, where the embassy has proposed a theme, can you say something about that process? You're sort of trying to capture somebody's conceptualization of something. How has it been this week?
Oh, actually, it was quite open. It was not given by the embassy.
Oh, is that so?
So it was more like it was really open for this, and I like very much this kind of openness. This all artists love to be this openness, this freedom.
Yeah.
And but I thought since the work of Jojo is also has several aspects of history.
Yes.
That's also my connection, because I very much look into society from several angles, from not only from the historical angles, also from the sociological aspects, from different culture. Even when we use the term culture. It has so many meanings, and it's as a European, I learned to be precise in using terminologies. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your painting, the process you reached to conceptualize this.
Well, this is imagine future, the topic, and for me, I was trying to create a narrative which is connected to Ghana. Of course, you see the Independence Arc, which is very beautiful, a landmark. I love this architecture, and also I think it's a good starting point. When this was built in 1957, and when it was declared by Kwame Nkrumah, it was about the vision of becoming independent, but not only about nation building. It was also about the dignity and to honor the dignity and also solidarity to other African countries.
Indeed, I see you're about to paint in the black star.
Yes, yes, it will come. Black. Yes, it will be the last to top, to finish.
Okay.
Yes, and this I created a scenery, imaginary scenery, and so this is 2100. So less than 80 years from now. So what will happen in this time? So that's my imagination. You see an Afronaut, not Afronaut,
not
yes,
an astronaut,
not an astronaut.
Afronaut.
So and you see the label, the flag label. That's of Pan Africa.
The flag label.
Yes, Pan Africa. So it's also about the connection between the Independence Arc and Afronaut. And that this solidarity and this collaboration work between African countries for becoming one unit, political unit,
united Africa.
A united Africa, and also about one of the let's say intellectual fingers like Du Bois. So which is very important for forming Pan-Africanism.
W.B. Du Bois, who was one of the founders of Pan-Africanism.
Absolutely. And I think it's always a good source to memorize and the potential because it's such a rich continent and collaboration is one thing. What I said also as an artist is important, but I think also from our civilization aspect. So continue this. You see
on this side.
On this side, yes.
Antilles of the Savannah. What is that antill doing there?
It's actually it's fascinating because it's also about how we see progress in society in general, in our global society, and like how which role technology plays, and can this technology serve like especially the global warming problem. I have my doubts, and I think these termite towns is a perfect example of a narrative, and that already is approached by scientists. There's, for instance, in South Africa, one termite towns. They figure out it's over 34,000 years old, and regarding to analyze with the radiocarbon method, they figure out also how these creatures were surviving, and also about how they are put into the carbon into their termite towns.
What has been happening to the earth during that whole period?
And I think that's my positive outview of this, because that's already, it's in the indigenous knowledge of Africa. You see Yoruba, for instance, they have a goddess of the earth. It's living in these termite towns, but also the Ede and Toko Asisa is the goddess, and they also believe that it's bringing new life up, and also it's a good connection, and I think just to rethinking, to recognize this awareness, this knowledge, I think that would be very profitable, and in
Yes.
serving the terms of how we deal
So
with
that
that.
stands for indigenous knowledge.
Yes.
And what's that behind it? Looking quite-
Behind it, that is it's a
quite
kind
modern.
of yes, it's a solar fountain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the work is not yet finished yet, but it's also about the water, the lack of water. So since you have the unfortunately in 2100 global warming is full in swing. So temperatures rose over 4 degrees. So, and it's already a problem with water in Africa, especially in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
And Africa and the world turned into a more sustainable future. So they are not taking, there are no more resources left, but they have learned to reuse and to recycle all materials. And so everything will come with renewable energy, and Africa will host 4 billion and over 4 billion inhabitants in 2100. And Accra is just a small place because it's it's the largest metropolitan region in the world, on a stripe from Lagos to Abuja for 500 million people.
Thank you very much, Martin Kyle, for explaining
You're
your
welcome.
concept of
Thank you so much for
cooperation,
interviewing me.
and for also your perspectives on your collaboration with Jojo and with the embassy. It's been very interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so our final guest today is Franziska Jebens. She's the head of cooperation at the German embassy here and also currently the chargée d'affaires. Welcome to the show, Franziska, in your own grounds.
Grazie.
And so your theme for this artist residency, Imagine Future, resonates very strongly with our objectives at Your Ghana, My Ghana. Can you tell us a little bit about what you had in mind?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for the opportunity. The German embassy is not only a building of bureaucracy. The German embassy represents in Ghana a spotlight of bridging between Ghanaian and German culture. So our idea about this artist residency was to create a space where a Ghanaian artist and a German artist can bring out their art by resonating about a future concept of our relationships, and to bring two different perspectives, one from the Ghanaian side, one from the German side, in order to find out where are the meeting points, where is the bridges, where is the cultural dialogue in it.
And what interested you about these two artists in particular?
Well, we heard about both. They both had exhibitions at the National Art Museum. And of course, the first encounter we had with Martin Kyle, a German artist who is living in Ghana for now 2 years. He is pretty much interested in representing with his art social life and changes in social life. So futuristic visions are in the core of his work, and that was very interesting for us because we are here at the German embassy also dealing with futuristic visions. We are also creating future relationships. We are building up relationships, exchanges, intercultural understanding, friendships, partnerships. So Martin Kyle was the first one that we invited for this artist residency, and then we wanted to find out with whom could he collaborate. And then he even mentioned Jojo Abdallah, who also had his exhibition at the National Museum.
A few weeks ago.
So they already knew each other. So we knew they already have this kind of dialogue about their art. So we found out more about Jojo, and his Psytech exhibition was very interesting to us because for me personally, but also for my colleagues, it was something new we have not seen before. And it is also like Psytech, his way of choosing this health sector to choose a new perspective on things. It was perfectly fitting into our concept, and this is why we chose them.
Excellent. And in what way do you think artists and other creatives can impact on things such as cooperation between countries? What can they do?
Well, actually, artists have one main core task, so to say. It's to bring out what they have in themselves, to share it with an audience, and based on that understanding of the audience, to enhance reflection, communication, dialogue, understanding, adopting a different perspective, putting yourself into another person's shoes. And this all we see in this artist residency. We see that the fact of collaborating, of talking to each other, seeing reflected my own ideas, maybe in the artwork of my co-partner who's also working at the same time. This all we see in this artist collaboration, and this is for us a very interesting aspect of relationship building.
It's the first time you've done this?
Yes, it's the first time. My dear colleague Ilsa, who might have the opportunity to talk later, she came up with the idea and we all supported her work. And yeah, I think it's maybe just the starting point for a longer journey, because we have seen so much interest in this little artist residency right now that we could really imagine to build up on it, to maybe enhance it and foster it in the future.
And today is the final day of the residency. What do you think will come next? What are the next steps?
Well, the next steps are, first of all, we want to enjoy what the artists have created during those 3 days. I think we will reflect on how can we bring this also to our German Ghanaian audience. We will see what the results and also the reactions of our audience are. And if it's a big success, I'm sure my very committed and engaged colleague will bring up a new idea on maybe inviting other artists and maybe also develop new visions, new topics, which are reflecting our Ghanaian-German relationship and friendship.
Thank you so much, Francisca, for sharing these perspectives. Thanks for being with us here today.
Welcome. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of today's fascinating episode of Your Ghana, My Ghana. Our guests have been artists Jojo Abdallah and Martin Kyle, with Francisca Yebens of the German Embassy in Accra, and I am Dede Amano-Wilkes. Please don't forget to subscribe on Graphic Online's YouTube channel, and hope to see you again next time.
For more news, please visit our website graphic.com.gh or follow us on Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube and Twitter at GraphicGH.
Subscribe now.